Good morning. Welcome to the forecast discussion for Wednesday, January 30th, 2019. Well, it is much colder than what it was yesterday, that is for sure, with temperatures throughout the region ranging from the lower to mid-teens over the interior, upper teens to lower 20s over the suburbs, and lower to mid-20s along the coast, even a few upper 20s on the east end of Long Island. Now, the storm yesterday was very interesting. I'm very interested to see the snow gradient that's set up, because as you know, the forecast here had about 1 to 3 inches basically around the Philadelphia metro, cutting up through about central northern New Jersey and just to the west of the New York City metro. Okay, it looks like that didn't pan out, and what basically happened was that you had 3 to 6 inches here, all right, even 7 inches, I think, in a few spots up here in northeastern Pennsylvania. But you had this line at 3 to 6 inches and then nothing, which was indicative of the type of storm that we're dealing with here, which is basically a wave of low pressure trying to develop along a cold front. So I wasn't surprised that there would be a sharp gradient. I was just surprised it went from 3 inches to nothing so far based on the data. So we're going to take a look and see what that actually looks like when the National Weather Service puts out the final snowfall total analysis. But the immediate coast pretty much panned out as expected, most rain, and then we had a little bit of flurries, and most locations got a dusting, if anything. And then over a little bit further into the interior, we saw a little bit, even some freezing rain, which is a little bit of a surprise, mixed in there as well. So certainly a very interesting storm. Now we have another one coming through, a very strong Arctic cold front. And you can see right here. Now you see this right here? Let me go to the radar here. This is the developing start of a snow squall line. Think of it like a thunderstorm line in the summer, okay? So what's going to happen is that this is going to march to the east and intensify as it's doing so. How do we know it's going to intensify? Well, when we take a look at the infrared satellite picture, you could see these cloud tops starting to get colder, and this is starting to expand in size here. This tells me that lifting is getting stronger. So much like a line of thunderstorms in the summer, as this line moves towards the Delaware River Valley and then towards the New Jersey coast and New York City metro between 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. and looking at the impacts for the Philadelphia metro around, let's say, 1 to 3, and the New York City metro from about 2 to about 5, that's going to lead to some problems for the evening rush hour. And it's also going to be moving through at a time when it's maximizing instability, natural instability in the atmosphere. Okay, so you got a couple of factors here that are very interesting setting this up. Now, what can this snow squall do? Well, in some cases, ironically, this one snow squall may produce more snowfall than what we saw from the storm yesterday. In that, first of all, it's going to be basically around freezing, if not below that, all day. So obviously the ground's going to be cold enough. But more importantly, this intense line is going to produce some very intense snowfall rates for a very short period of time. So again, it's just like a thunderstorm in the summer. So it's going to be capable of producing some very heavy snowfall, reduced visibility below a mile at times, and also feature some very strong wind gusts over 40 miles per hour. So you're going to have poor visibility, strong winds. Obviously, there's a wind chill threat that's going to be remaining in place through tonight with wind chills below zero. And of course, there's that threat for slick roads or snow-covered roads once this band moves through. So a lot of interesting factors here to work with for this afternoon and the evening, just in time for your evening rush. Wonderful, wonderful to drive in that, I'll tell you that much. So if you get caught in one of these bands, stop, pull to the side, wait for it to move through. It's going to be moving fast, so it's not going to be lingering around, but when it moves through, you're going to know it because it's going to hit real hard. So here's our cold front right here that's going to be marching through, and behind it, even colder air. As you probably have heard, Chicago's probably going to have one of the coldest days on record here, with the polar vortex basically sitting right over them. And this cold front is the leading edge of that cold air, and believe me, you're going to feel it tonight on through tomorrow with those very cold temperatures. So let's dive into this forecast for today. Cold front moves through. We talked about the snow squall. Look for highs in the upper 20s to lower 30s. Mid to upper 20s over the interior. For tonight, that snow squall and the cold front leaves. Look for winds to remain strong from the northwest and west-northwest of 15 to 30 miles per hour, gusts over 40 miles per hour, wind chills below zero, and your actual temperatures below zero to single digits. So very cold. Definitely bundle up if you're heading out there. Tomorrow afternoon, the winds slacken off. We look for highs in the mid to upper teens. On Friday, an area of low pressure passes to the south. I think for the most part, this high pressure system is going to prevent a lot of the precipitation. Don't be surprised if you get a few flurries, especially around the Philadelphia metro, but for the most part, dry weather conditions are expected, with lows in the single digits to lower teens and highs in the lower to mid 20s. Now on Saturday, that high pressure system starts to push off the coast, and that introduces warmer air. Look for increasing cloud cover with lows in the lower to mid-teens, highs in the upper 30s to lower 40s. On Sunday, even warmer, warm enough possibly even to produce some fog, so we definitely have to keep an eye on that. Look for lows in the lower to mid-30s, highs in the lower to mid-50s. So that's a lot warmer air coming in. Certainly a heck of a rebound from what we're going to be dealing with over the next 24 hours. On Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, a series of low pressures and cold fronts will move through the region with scattered showers. Temperatures on Monday will range from the upper 20s to lower 30s for lows, but lower to mid 50s for highs. And then on Tuesday and Wednesday, look for lows in the mid to upper 40s and highs in the lower to mid 50s on the coast, and upper 50s to lower 60s in the Delaware River Valley. So some much warmer weather conditions, but don't get too used to it because it's not going to last as we swing right back into another cold weather pattern by the end of next week. That is your forecast discussion for today. Of course, as always, thank you for following and be safe out there.